Amazon burns through workers so quickly that executives are worried they'll run out of people to employ. I'm not a robot. Amazon workers condemn unsafe, grueling conditions at the warehouse. Amazon warehouse injuries 80% higher than competitors. Working conditions are hell. Amazon employees not surprised its warehouses have seen hundreds of COVID cases. It seems not a week goes by without another scary headline out of Amazon warehouses. This giant corporation seems to be absolute hell for anyone actually working there. Originally founded by Jeff Bezos in 1994, Amazon has become the go-to e-commerce shop for hundreds of different product categories, and in 2021 made over $470 billion in revenue. They employ 1.6 million employees around the world, not just in its e-commerce operations, but also in cloud services. Amazon has been a phenomenal stock for shareholders as it continues to eat more and more of the giant retail market. But the dark truth remains. You see, as soon as you press the Buy Now button on Amazon, a chain reaction of human suffering begins at a warehouse a few kilometers away. We've seen the headlines, but now let's hear from the staff. What is this company actually like to work for? Here's what Amazon employees had to say on Glassdoor.com. Bad. Pros, there is no reason to work there. Cons, slave cuck for Jeff Bezos so he can go to space to compensate for something. Advice to management, abolish slavery. Modern day slavery. Pros, weekly checks and more than enough hours available. Cons, the expectations for human employees are completely not based in reality. Rates and quota expectations were made for robots or slaves. That is why the turnaround rate is 150%. Sooner rather than later, there won't be hireable Americans to mistreat. Oh, and please know that if you are interested in working at a fresh warehouse, just don't. It's not even worth it. No amount of money is worth being in intense physical pain, freezing away in the minus 10-degree freezer. There is no advice to be given to management. There's just brainless workers that work their way up. The rating system and quotas need to be broken and rebuilt from the ground up. This company is complete trash. Pros, they give their employees a free pair of shoes once per year. They allow their employees to drink free, cheap powder instant coffee. Cons, their hours are grueling and their management style is unprofessional. What really bothers me about this company is that I elected for employee stock options in my benefit enrollment and have been chasing representatives via email just to get a hold of my stocks, which I absolutely would like to sell. The richest man in the world at the time couldn't even afford to feed his employees. Let that sink in. A billionaire atop of $1 trillion company profits from selling its hungry employees potato chips and egg salad while investing millions into their hardware and warehouse facilities and vehicles and more. I had plenty of reservations going into this employment opportunity, and every single one of them was confirmed. They could be offering $5 above the industry average, and I'd still advise job seekers to look elsewhere. It wouldn't surprise me if this company goes belly up in 10 years or less when people recognize the shoddy quality of service they provide. Not sure if I could be any less satisfied from an employment experience. Job interview was literally just swabbing my mouth to see if I was on drugs. Never once had the pleasure of being introduced to the warehouse manager, and my job functions were not clearly explained upon interview, employment offer, or any other part of the process. Would rate negative stars if it were possible. This company is without a doubt the worst company I've ever had the displeasure of donating my time to. No wonder the divorced dork who disenfranchised millions of college kids building his textbook scampire has done such a masterful job of constructing a dystopian hell. Advice to management. Management? You mean the people with slightly more experience who are differentiated merely by a different color reflective vest? None. There is absolutely nothing they can do to repair the poppycock that Jeff Bezos has erected in his image. Horrible people. Pros, you give paid decent money, you get paid decent money. Cons, some old creep was always trying to harass you. Advice to management, don't hire weird people. Never again. Dock worker this time. Pros, the only pros were gaining experience in a warehouse environment and making some good friends. Cons, long work hours, not enough pay, unprofessional managers / clueless managers, Coworkers wouldn't do their jobs and got away with it. Non-stop text notifications of COVID cases, but didn't inform what department at least to look for symptoms. I got COVID even though I had the vaccine. Also, constant promises of promotions and then denial of promotion. No incentive for better workers at all. Avoid like the plague. Pros: consistent schedule, decent medical benefits. Cons: pays you less than most warehouse industry gigs. Pick rates are awful and leads to safety violations. Clock and point system will prevent you from moving to a different location. Learning new skills leads to more work but no increase in payment. Advice to management: I have heard trainers say openly racist things to their staff. The entire workplace culture of Amazon is one where talented workers get a better job at another company instead of staying. At the location I worked at, there were at least 4 outbreaks of COVID-19. Wish I had read the reviews and the media headlines before I applied. Pros: will hire anyone with a pulse, no resume needed. Some of the senior managers and HR reps are personable, but the problems with the grueling working conditions at this company are systemic. Cons: I can't imagine worse working conditions, very high injury rates, poor experience with some area managers, treated like a number. Packer. Pros: nothing. The pay is not even worth it. Slavery job. Close to the place I live at, so this is the only pro. Cons: no life at all, sitting is not allowed, you have to stay standing all the time. You have to work like a robot. If you stop for a minute, the manager will come and annoy you. Very mean company with little to no care to its workers. Pros: the advantage of working in Amazon warehouse YYZ3, that's Toronto area, is obvious. You work 4 days a week and rest 3 days. Pay is around $3 higher than the Ontario minimum pay per hour. Sometimes it has overtime or time off coming, and you can apply, meaning you can work and earn more as you wish or take a rest. This is what I only like about here. Cons: let me share with you all the messy and undesirable things of working here. Some managers and process assistants are very rude, and what they only know is pushing people to work faster, faster, and faster. No matter how fast you work, they will never ever be satisfied. If you have some issues and your ratings drop, they will come to you asking why you are slow. Note, they are very, very pushy, and work here is very stressful physically. They care nothing about your health. They even want you to run and pick and pack without a single minute to take a breath. You go to the toilet, they come to ask why there's a gap. You have some issues with your workstation and took some time to fix it and your ratings drop, they come to ask you why you were slow. This is a place where they try all their best to extract every value from you and try all the best to pay the least. Amazon is a bad employer and very mean and greedy, from the top CEO to the bottom PA and managers. If you have another choice, go. Lastly, almost no people work here for a long time. Most of them, nearly 90%, are new hires who work no more than 1 year. Amazon fires people fast and is very mean. Whenever there's no more work or the future prospect orders is decreasing, they fire. Amazon driver. Pros: driving job, can make okay money. Cons: too many packages. Amazon will tell you safety and customers is their priority and not how many parcels you deliver. The reality is very different. There is a public face of Amazon, and then there's the reality of a greedy company that puts too much pressure on the delivery service partners, who in turn pile that pressure onto their self-employed drivers. If you don't mind cutting corners, like not putting a seatbelt on and just parking anywhere, blocking roads and driveways, you'll get on fine. If you like to do things right, be safe, and treat other road users with respect, this is not the job for you. Also, they say it's a 9-hour shift, but that doesn't include the hour you sit in an overflow car park or loading time. Also, you have to install an app that monitors every aspect of your driving. If you go over the speed limit at all, have to brake, accelerate, or go around corners too harshly, you get a poor score and therefore not eligible for bonuses. Be wary of the money promised in job adverts. Most are based on bonuses and many hidden costs, like £50 for background checks, £12 a week for your pay slip. If you hire one of the company's vans and it gets damaged, don't tell them. Get it fixed yourself. They'll rip you off for repairs. Shame. could be a good job, and the other drivers in your team are usually pretty decent. But the hypocrisy, double standards, and BS will drive you mad. Unless Jeff Bezos has a good look in the mirror and stops being a greedy megalomaniac who wants to take over the world, nothing will change. Hard work. Pros: 3 days off per week. Helpful problem solvers to assist if your support was needed. Opportunity to move up in your career after a certain amount of time. Cons: physically demanding, hard labor. 10-hour days. Standing for long periods of time. No sitting allowed except during bathroom or snack breaks. Lunch breaks were 2 15-minute timed snack breaks on a set schedule each day. Breaks were timed and included your walk from one end of the warehouse to the break room, not allowing adequate time to microwave and eat the food. Vending machine food options were low quality. Always tired. Poor work-life balance. My days consisted of work and sleep only. Considering a 30-minute commute both ways, 8 hours of sleep and 10-hour shifts, I was always too tired to do anything else. Horrible. Closest thing to a sweatshop. Pros: hiring all the time, high sign-on bonus. Cons: unattainable production goals, scolded for taking bathroom breaks, told to carry Advil or ibuprofen to combat pain. They want you to use the on-site PAs instead of your own doctors when injured at work. They add required overtime to your schedule without prior knowledge. Advice to management: stop treating the business like a modern-day sweatshop. Well guys, that was Amazon, and we haven't even covered the corporate side. That was just a warehouse and the drivers, and it sounds like an absolute hell. If you have experience at this company, let us know in the comment section, and as always, subscribe for more.